SuperTalk 997 WTN. You know what time it is? It's Renovation Nation time. That's right. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is Renovation Nation time. And this has been a Renovation Nation week for me personally, as well as, well, you know, it's just Saturday, 11 a.m. What do you expect? It's Renovation Nation time. I'm Chad Rowland, owner of RTM Roofing, host of this crazy show. Weekly we come in and you just hear me babble. You know, got a lot of new listeners because we've had quite a few calls and a lot of stuff going on out there in the roofing world on your roof. And, well, I'm going to say about 1,800 times. I got to calm down. It's a good day. It's been a great week, and one of these days I'll tell you about it. But it's just good to lighten the load. I don't know if some of y'all know what I mean on that. But nevertheless, if you're just tuning in, like I said, coming at you live from SuperTalk 997 WTN, but from the undisclosed location of Studio 378 is Renovation Nation, and I am Chad Rowland, owner of RTM Roofing, and that's usually what we're here for. It's about RTM Roofing. It's about your roof. It's about, well, the thing that protects pretty much everything you own. You sleep under at night, and, you know, it's a good thing to have. It's a good thing to have. And so we go into some things about roofing, and even people that listen to the show, it amazes me sometimes that we do roofing. We do roofing replacements, repairs, commercial or residential. So that's simple, meaning and just remembering. But I've had a lot of clients that that call us out and go, you do gutters? We do quite a few things, actually. And I talked about some of it last week, but now, for example, we do, like I said, roofing, repairs or replacements. We do siding, soffit. I'm going to have a show about soffit. Siding, soffit, fascia. We're going to be talking about Mr. Underwood here in a minute, and thanks for listening, Mr. Underwood. Had a great conversation with him out there in the Arrington College Grove area. Let's just say that. I don't like giving people's addresses. Addresses out. Not yet, but nevertheless, the fascia. We also do gutters, commercial or residential. The commercial side's a little different. It's not we just come out and change out gutters. There's a big commercial gutter maintenance that I like to do, and I'm promoting that a lot for those of you that don't know. If you've got a commercial gutter having issues, might have a problem solver for you. I might. It's not always 100%, and there's always what I call lipstick on a pig. A lot of times the pig's already there. It's rough, it's tough, it's been here a while, and we've got to sort of redo it without getting a new pig. So it's lipstick on a pig. You make it look better sometimes, but we can do a lot when it comes to a lot of the gutter stuff commercially that might save you from having to rip them all down and redo them, and that's a large cost. It's not inexpensive on your home, but it's not, unless you've got a 20,000 square foot house with copper gutters, they're not $2,000 to $5,000 change out gutters on average homes. And, the size matters. So, the smaller gutter area, the closer to, the lower number. But I digress. And we also do chimney caps. And chimney caps are important. The reason I say that, because there's a lot out there that has chimney caps. Well, I call it lightweight concrete. It's just a concrete cap, not like a piece of sidewalk. Just, it just covers from water going, down straight down in your chimney. And your flue comes up and out of it, and spark resistor and all that stuff. But nevertheless, that concrete cracks. And sometimes the brick, it's not the brick face, it'll be the brick top, which is porous, is exposed. You want that covered. you really want that covered. And you can seal it and you can caulk it or whatever other stuff people want to put in it. But if you want it done and done right and out of your hair and not worry about it again, unless, 300, whatever many tornadic winds comes through there, you've got nothing else to worry about. Burn-in color, we're not doing just galvanized or, shiny metal look, unless that's what you want. No, there's black, brown, white. That's a little different. Dark bronze. I mean, really, few colors for what you need. But nevertheless, and skylights too. Now, I've done shows on skylights, and I actually need to get the skylight rep in. And we need to have a good conversation like I've done with, Tate Sykes and all the IKL people. I'm going to forget a name. I'm on the spot. But nevertheless, where else am I going here? Oh, I do have to give some shout-outs today. I started last week, and then I squirreled. I did a Chad. I just squirreled. But I want to throw a shout-out to someone that listens every week, I found out. Now, you've not called me about, come look at your roof. But that's okay. Still love you. And that's Dee Dee Lanier. That's right. Eva Lois Moran told me. So I want to give you a shout out. Thank you for listening and say hello to Mr. Lanier. Had him in chemistry. A lot of us old school McVegas people, we remember Mr. Lanier, Mr. Wooden, and old 10-pin market and all that good stuff. But thank you for listening. I really appreciate that. It tears me up. It actually does. And who else? Oh, and I was talking about last week. I met a gentleman at a Saturday after New Year's out there Campaign Way. I was out there having a great breakfast, and congratulations, Craig and Shauna Rowland. They got married, so it wasn't all that, but that was part of it. It was great. And I met a gentleman named Tommy Savage, and Tommy reminds me of an old cattle man. I don't know why. He just got that look. But as I talked to him and sitting across, I didn't know who he was. There was 15, 20 people in there, and my cousins across from me and all this and that. And we get to talking, and the guy makes some sense. I mean, every now and then you meet people, you just like, bless their heart. But nevertheless, I mean, I was really enjoying my conversation, and I'd be in trouble if I didn't mention Miss Carla and her chicken and dumplings. That's how you know you got a smart man, ladies. But I want to give him a big shout out. He's out there running, and if I say it wrong, don't shoot me. But I'm pretty sure he's going for County Commissioner District 7, or at least out the Campaign Way, whatever that number is. And was gathering signatures to, I guess to be able to run. I don't want to run for anything. Mike Grissom for Congress, he knows the proper paperwork. But nevertheless, that talked a lot about Warren County, and some stuff I didn't know, and we talked history, and then I found out he's commissioner and he's running, and Renovation Nation doesn't endorse anybody, but I'm telling you, if I could have signed his petition or whatever that thing was, if I voted in Warren County, I would have signed it if I lived out that way. That's what I'm going to say about it. So nice to meet you, Mr. Savage, and Miss Savage. I'm looking forward to some chicken and dumplings. They sounded good, and everybody talked about them. But nevertheless, we're not going to get into all this and that today, but I had to do a little talking to some people because, that's what life's about a little bit. It's about experiences. And this week's been a wild one in my world. And, you appreciate the moment you're in. So we are going to get into today, though. Now, all right, everybody, turn the station, go do your thing. He's not going to babble anymore. Yeah, I am going to get into, we are looking to start a new little trade out of all that I mentioned earlier. The roofing, the siding, the soffit, the fascia, the gutters, the chimney caps, and skylights too. And we're going to add another one, I believe. I know we are. We're just finalizing it right now and training and getting all the data and facts. So we know 5 by 5, as they say. We know exactly what we're doing, and it's a logical addition to RTM. It's products or services. Not products. Well, it is a product, but the service to be able to help you out. And it's been wanting to do it for a while. And just this year, we finally said, just 2026. We're good at all the other things we do. And we keep running into this. I mean, a lot. Especially when dealing with ventilation in the attic and all this stuff. And it's too hot. And it's like my room's too hot and all this stuff. But been running into so much. I've been wanting to do it. But we'd been busy enough at RTM Roofing that sometimes you don't just jump off a ledge or try something new when you're rolling down the road pretty good and still got a tank of gas. So this year we're like, the market's changed. No one wants to buy a roof. Really no one does. But you've got to when you've got to, whether it's insurance or not. And this is something else that I think more people will be really interested in. And because it will save you money, literally. And they call it the ante to get in the game is not that much, not for the return on investment. And that's what I always talk about. Well, I put, at RTM Roofing, we don't put $1,500 transmissions in $500 cars. Go get your new car. We'll put some more fluid in it and get you rolling to get you to another car. We'll get another car. But you can call RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751, 500-0751, or go to rtmroofing.com. Or you can just come back here, as we always say, and it heard, seeing through. Welcome to RTM Roofing Commercial Division. Not only do we do replacements, we also do commercial repairs. Budgeting for you. And when times like this happen and you need to stop the water, you can't just change a panel. You roll over it. With RTM and Everest Roofing Systems. Their products are beyond any that I've ever worked with. And at RTM Roofing, we only use the best. And it doesn't cost as much as the rest. Call RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751. Well, stick around because here comes another great segment. And we're back. Back live on SuperTalk 99.7 WTN. You know what time it is? It's Renovation Nation time. I still got to fix a little bit of this latency in my ears. I'm close. I'm a lot better. I don't have to yank them out of my ears now, because you'll say hello and they'll go, hello. And then you'll start talking slower, because you hear it repeating in your ears. But I've dialed it in better, but I got to get Brent Rollins back out and let the master man get a hold of the board. But anyway, you are listening to Renovation Nation, coming at you live from SuperTalk 99.7 WTN. Here at the undisclosed location, Studio 378. After 2020, a lot of things changed. We became a little more mobile. But, sometimes I want to take phone calls. Maybe one Saturday we might do that. Because we get a lot of questions from you guys when you call for your annual inspection. And as we was leaving that last segment, I was throwing out the number real quick because I forgot to do it, during it. But if you need RTM services, if you've got an issue, if you don't have an issue, we're starting to pre-book inspections. I talked about last week. Don't wait to March to call us. If you can't do it right now or whatever, go ahead and call us. Say, hey, third week of March, want you to come out? That way you don't forget and you go on about your life. I've learned a lot this week about going on about your life. And, yeah, it's a freedom. It's a freedom. And usually when something happens, you're busy in life and the roof's leaking, you don't have time to call, and you're just like, because you see a brown spot on your ceiling, it's just another thing that adds on to your day. My wife said something to me the other day, and I can't for the life of me say it the way she said it, but it's my world. It's the world I live in day-to-day work and processing and stuff. And that's what I'm getting at. It's like I've got enough on my plate, even me, that if I walk in and see a brown spot on my ceiling, it'll just be like, when am I going to call about that? First of all, who am I going to call? Well, I know who I'm calling. But you call RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751. But, you've got this whole next, it could be 10 minutes, it could be the next 3 hours, it could be the next couple days, an hour at a time, trying to get someone out to look at your roof. Now, I don't mean for them to arrive there. I mean, for you to finally find someone or finally make the call. So I understand that. So I'm saying now, while you're, not driving down the road, but when you get home, when you get wherever you're going, I always say if it's that time, it's always that time if you've not had a roof inspection minimally in a year, but more or less 3, 5, 7 years since someone's been on your roof. That's not a good thing. I'm not saying it's the end of the world, but I'm saying that's like driving your car instead of, 5,000 to 7,000 miles before you get the oil changed. Excuse me. Before you get the oil changed, you're driving 20 or 30,000. So some things might need a little touching up that normally wouldn't, or would get touched up every 5,000 to 7,000 miles oil change, and it would last longer. And you'd be prepared and know things are coming, at least if you get your roof inspected, because, unless I know the exact date that roof was installed, we got a general idea how old it is. And by looking at it like a car, I can drive it for a minute and walk on it and all that good stuff. I got a pretty good idea how much life you got on average, or you should expect before, it's not going to die at 1 second unless a storm gets it. But before it takes the last 2 or 3 years and you haven't started budgeting for your roof, because not everything's an insurance claim. And even an insurance claim nowadays is, it's not anything's 100% unless you've got the money budgeted and life happens and the roof's needed, or gutters or soffit or fascia or chimney caps or skylights. I'm not going to say the new one yet I was talking about. You got to wait a little while for that one. Of any of those needs, you know where you're sitting. And we've not done it at every house, but when we get the opportunities, because we're looking at all that while we're at your house, no matter what you call us for your gutters, I'm still going to peek at your roof unless you said, hey, we just had that done 2 years ago by so-and-so, which is under their warranty. I'm not on it. But if it's been 10, 15 years and that roof's there, I want to make sure you're going to be taken care of, because just because you got a gutter problem, you might not know you have a roof problem. A lot of people don't know they have a roof problem. And what's that problem? It's not always the end of the world. It could be a nail pop, letting a little water in, rotting a piece of decking. That's all it's needed to repair. It's never really already gotten through all the way to the insulation and the sheetrock and the brown spots and all that. Well, that's a small little deal. You might have pipe boots, those white pipes that come up out of your home. A lot of you have neoprene. They're black. It fits around that pipe so the water rain doesn't, run down it and get in your attic. Well, those are good on average 10 years. I always say 5 to 10 because I've seen them in 5 break down and I've seen them go to 12 or 13. But at any time after 5 years, you need it looked at regardless. That's my opinion and my professional opinion, because I've seen, honestly, I couldn't tell you how many pipe boots I've seen. It'd be it's in the thousands. I just don't know if it's in the tens of thousands, like 10,000, but I don't know. I could probably go find that out. But hold a second. Let me go find that out. But my point is, it's small stuff you never think of. That's a very minimal expense on this 5, 10, 15, 20-year journey. Yeah, you might say, I'm moving in 5 years. Well, that doesn't mean over the next 5 years some of these things aren't going to pop up, cause a leak, create more havoc in your life. That's already, from the time your eyes open to the time you close them. For a lot of you, I know it is. It is for me. I mean, it's like I said, adding something else on my plate is, well, if you can see my desk right now. That's my point. But I know where everything's at, so everybody calm down. It's crazy looking like me, but I know where it's at. But that's what I said in the very first segment. That's what this show's about. It's trying to save you money, not come out and say, hey, that's going to be $1,200. That's going to be $500. That's going to be $8,000, $80,000, whatever it is. That's not, the business has got to survive, but that's not the goal. The goal is to prepare you so we don't come out all at once and say it's $22,000 for that roof because it's dead and I'm just taking your money to do anything to it now. Any money you put in that roof from this point forward, just hand to me and I'll light it with a lighter and it'll burn it up because that's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. Now, are you stopping a leak or something? Of course you are. But you will never see that dollar again. It's just gone. The hundreds of thousands or whatever it may be. If it's that bad, change it. And to change it, it costs money if it's not insurable, if it's not a hail or wind event or fire event, God forbid, or whatever. Then it's going to come out of your pocket, and you're actually paying for your roof right now. When you pay that, I don't know, $2,500 a month home mortgage, there's a number in there that's your roof, and it's not $50. It's probably a couple hundred of that. It's your roof value over the next 30 years. Because roofs are supposed to last at least technically 30 up to 50 and and some do and some don't, and some are backed by it and some aren't. But regardless, you got Nissan. I love Nissan, by the way. But you got a Sentra, a great car, and you've got a Maxima. They're both great cars, but one's a little better than the other, depending on what you need it for. So, same with the roof. You're already paying for your roof. You just don't know it. So, let's get you on a budget. Should you call us at 615-500-0751, 500-0751. Book it out a couple months. Book it for 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now. We're happy to do it, and we will be there. You go on about your life. That's what it's about. It's Saturday. It's a fun day. It's supposed to be. We'll come on back. Lord knows where we go from here, but you're listening to Renovation Nation. See you in 3. Welcome to RTM Roofing Commercial Division. Not only do we do replacements, we also do commercial repairs. Budgeting for you. And when times like this happen, and you need to stop the water, you can't just change a panel. You roll over it. With RTM and Everest Roofing Systems. Their products are beyond any that I've ever worked with. And at RTM Roofing, we only use the best. And it doesn't cost as much as the rest. Call RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751. Well, stick around, because here comes another great segment. And you know we're back. Back live on SuperTalk 99.7 WTN. As Justin Sheffield says, you know what time it is? It's Renovation Nation time. What's up, JS in St. Charles, Missouri? Be seeing you here soon, big man. Be seeing you here soon over the next couple months. Go up and see Miss Sarah. And I've got to say something. All of you that's text me or I've talked to that listen to me interview Sarah over the Christmas holidays, thank you. I just like having fun and talking to her. It's really great. She's grown into a fabulous young woman. But you guys love it. I mean, everybody I've talked to is like, I caught that show. That was wow. And the way she explains, I'm like, well, that's my girl. Of course that's my girl. No, that's all Sarah. That's all Sarah. But thank you for listening when I do that kind of crazy stuff. But yes, you are listening to Renovation Nation, coming at you live from SuperTalk 99.7 WTN. I'm Chad Rowland, owner of RTM Roofing, host of this crazy show. The show about nothing until we turn it into something. And speaking of turning it into something, to recapping a little bit of the day, gave some shout-outs to Miss Dee Dee Lanier and Mr. Lanier in McMinnville, Tennessee. Mr. Tommy Savage and Carla Savage. Miss Tommy and Carla Savage. Tommy's running for District 7. I believe it's District 7, but I can't talk today. But down in campaign area, McMinnville, Warren County, Tennessee, wanting to run or running for a county commissioner. Great gentleman. I don't live there, so I can't vote there. And I'm not really an endorser. I really don't choose your own politics, but that's local politics. And if you live in that area, I like the guy. I mean, I don't know any of the others, but I like that man. What else? What else we've done today? Need to talk about Mr. Underwood out there in the College Grove area. He called me up, and I was the one that answered that call. And you on the radio? I said, yeah, that's me. And so we've got to talking with him, and went out and looked. He's got an older style ranch house that I believe it was late 60s, if I remember right. And got the wood soffit and the wood fascia. And I said I was going to do a show on soffit, but I'll at least sort of explain what soffit is as I understand it. Soffit is like, let me give you a visual. You walk into your back door. It's a one-story house, ranch, which is basically a rectangle with a pitched roof, just 60 by 90, whatever it may be. You're walking in that back glass sliding door, right in the middle. The roof's, 7, 8, 9, 10 foot above your head. And the gutter's right there, too. You see the gutter. You walk under the gutter's nailed into the fascia, or the eave. It's actually the eave, but they're fascia boards is what we call them. And then you've got about 12 to 16 inch. Sometimes they're 2 foot. It just varies depending on the year of the house. Let's just say it's a 12 to 16 inch, wide, flat area before you walk into the door. Walk through the door. When you look straight up and see those vents, that's where the air gets into your attic. That's the soffit, and it goes all around your house. You vent the bottom side, and the angles underneath the roof on the ends. They're usually, no air goes in that way, so it's always solid. It can be wood. It can be, some people can do some hardy type products, or a lot of people have vinyl under that soffit. It's just like a vinyl siding just meant for that area, vented and all that good stuff. That's your soffit. Well, he was needing this. It was wood, and so he was wanting it covered in vinyl. I said, great, and we'll get that to you. And then he said, while we're here, I got the fascia, which is what your gutter nails to, that wood board, the eave. But that fascia, 1x6, 1x8, it varies. That's either painted or it's wrapped in metal. Now, I'm a metal fan because once you do that, you never have to paint it again. But if you like the paint and that's your deal, make sure you keep up with that. Otherwise, at times, you get rotted soffit and fascia based off of different scenarios. But I like the metal because it's a little bit more than the paint. If you had to paint it all around your house rather than wrapping it in metal, it's a little bit more, but you don't have to paint it again. The color's burnt into the metal. It's all kinds of good stuff. But he needed some fascia metal wrap, and he wanted some soffit. And then some gutters. So great. Walked around, looked at it. I mean, it's not going to be a hard job. And it needed it. It needed it. If you've got rotten wood, we need to replace that. But if there's some watermarks on it and it was just from a couple stains, basically, wrap it. Move on. You don't have to paint it. You can. We can still prime it and do all kinds of different things. But the secret is protect it, seal it. And so I want to give him a big shout out. So when I say we do roofing, siding, soffit, and fascia, that's what I'm talking about. That right before you walk into your door, if there's a gutter above your head, you'll have a gap underneath there. It's flat for about just call it a foot, but nevertheless, 12 to 16 inches. That's your soffit. And if you don't like the color or it's wood or XYZ, call us. We'll advise you on multiple options. See what works for you. It's your choice. We'll tell you what we know and why we know it. This is what I've seen. This is what we've done. And here's what we walked up on this one, and this is why we went this route. You're like this one over here, so we went that route, but either one's fine. What do you prefer? Stuff like that. So I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Underwood. I'll be seeing him again here soon, but we had I was out there for a long time. When you happen to get me that comes out, prepare yourself for about 2.5 to 3 hours, because we're going to find something we have in common and talk about it. And actually, me and Mr. Underwood had a friend in common when I used to have some property out that way back when, is Terry. I can't remember Terry's last name. I'm not going to say his old company, but yeah, he knew him, and I'm like, oh, Terry, hey, how you doing? Anyways, Terry, if you're listening, what's up, big man? So, where else we going? I had a client this past week, or actually it was a couple weeks ago. We've already got him wrapped up. Mr. Richardson. They're in, I won't say Smyrna, but it might have been Nolensville. It's Nolensville, not Smyrna. I had to go through Smyrna. It was Nolensville. Got that call. Now, he didn't hear us on the radio. He didn't hear the ads or any other networking thing we do. A gentleman named Bill Brock referred him. So I'm going to give Bill Brock a big shout out and thank you. And for those of you that's listened to me for a long time, Bill's brother was Joe Brock, JB. Now I've talked about Joe. Lord, that's going to break me up. But Bill's one of the good ones too. And so thank you, Bill. I really appreciate the referral. But Mr. Richardson's problem, he had some shingles missing. And he had a 3-tab roof. I'm not going to go into what a 3-tab is, but nevertheless, wind can get under them once they age a little bit, a lot easier than they can your standard roofs that you probably think which is the architecturals that you see is what I meant, out there the most. But nevertheless, he had a few. He wanted to see if it was an insurable thing or, he needed it fixed either way. And I went out there, and it, in my opinion, the roof's getting older, but what was missing I wouldn't file the claim. You can do what you want, but I wouldn't. I'd eat the $300, $400, $500 to get that repaired. And then while I was there, I checked everything else. And then he had some things around his dormers. And I'm not going to go into dormers. I'll have to get Brandon Mitchell here for that. But he had a couple other issues. And so we went out there, and it was all just because, hey, I know the shingles are missing, but I need everything looked at. And we got him by. Know what I mean by getting him by? He had some issues around some of the dormers that if this roof had, in my opinion, 10 more years, we'd have redone it around all of the dormers. I mean, all of them. But he's not. So we got any chance of water getting in. We bought him a lot of time, is what I'm trying to tell you. We bought him a lot of time. Did we buy him 10 years? No. Did we buy him 2 to 3? 100%. Is he going to get his roof inspected annually now? 100%. But my point is, he knows if a storm doesn't come and do the grand finale, he's going to need a roof. And I'm about to get him. I think I gave it to him. Heck, I got to remember now. But either way, I'm going to get him the number in today's dollars. If we had to replace it, this is what it would cost. Because it won't cost that in 3 years. It'll be higher. Just normal. If it was 2020 to now, it'd be extremely a lot higher. And that's why I was saying, people don't want to buy a roof. Your life's moving at 1 million miles an hour. Most people don't just sit $15,000 to $25,000 over the side and say, well, we need that for a roof, we're ready. They don't. But you can prepare for that a little bit each year over the next 5, 10, 15 years, whatever it may be. So when it happens, it's not another compounding event that not only takes up your time and energy, but as my dad used to say, that cat fat in your back pocket, that wad of green, that's the trifecta. Then you just boom, 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 and it's just overwhelming. And that's part of the psychology, in my opinion, why most people don't want to buy a roof. There's others. I don't know. It's just I get philosophical at times, speculated at times, and then factual at times. And I can tell you one thing. Get your roof inspected. It can save you tens of thousands, if not just thousands of dollars in the future. And you can do that by calling RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751, 500-0751. Or go to rtmroofing.com. And I've got something to say about that, too, when I get back. As you always know, right here on SuperTalk 99.7. Come on back. See you then. Welcome to RTM Roofing Commercial Division. Not only do we do replacements, we also do commercial repairs. Budgeting for you. And when times like this happen, and you need to stop the water, you can't just change a panel. You roll over it with RTM and Everest Roofing Systems. Their products are beyond any that I've ever worked with. And at RTM Roofing, we only use the best. And it doesn't cost as much as the rest. Call RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751. Well, stick around, because here comes another great segment. And you know we're back. Back live on SuperTalk 99.7 WOTN. You know what time it is? It's Renovation Nation time. Yes, it is. Yes, it is on a Saturday. Oh, what are we, the second week? I don't know. We're already almost, no, we are halfway through January. Golly. And it's cold. It's cold. You know, it's supposed to be. I like cold, personally. There's a level I don't, but I digress on that. But it is cold. Your roof has been expanding and contraction. And I know you longtime listeners are just like, here he goes again. That heat and that cold. But it's true. And that's what does cause a lot of your problems, is that thermal expansion rapidly on things that hadn't been addressed over a long period of time. Wow, that sounded really good. I need to record that. But it's true, though. I was being facetious or funny or whatever. But no, but it is factual. Thermal expansion does cause a lot of issues. And they're not always imminent or immediate. It'll pull the caulk away. Something will move the gaps there. It might take 6 months of rain, whatever, light rains, heavy rains, to finally say, hey, I'm here, right above your head. And that's those brown, or if you see black on your inside your home, on your ceilings, unless you painted that's not a good sign. But it's usually brown rings, and the more tree rings, I call them, is multiple rains. And you can tell how hard it was by the thickness of the ring. That needs to be repaired, and more than not, it's your roof. It's not always your roof that causes your ceiling stains, but, you know, that's the first thing I would check. And I would call RTM Roofing. I would go to their website, rtmroofing.com. And what I was going to say about that after the last segment was, we had a little glitch on it. I don't know if it's a great cyber attack of 26 or whatever, but we're getting it repaired. So when you go to it, it looks a little crazy. If it's not already fixed now, I've got to double check it by, I don't know, today when I get done here. But you can still get to us that way. Just scroll to the very bottom. It'll be in yellow. It'll be a contact card. Put your name, your number, your email, address, and what your issue is. You know, what's going on. And it immediately dumps into our system. You don't have to call us and give us all that. Don't do it driving down the road, but you can do it on your phone. Just scroll to the very bottom. If it's not looking like a great, amazing website, and you'll know what I mean if it's still doing some glitches things that we are getting repaired, that scroll to the bottom and fill out that card. And it immediately, it's in our system. We're calling you right up, scheduling you, boom, 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 done. Or you just call 615-500-0751, 500-0751, and you'll hear it's an automated system because we want to get you where you need to be. It's either 1 or 2. I don't even remember because I don't call it. But it'll say new or existing client, press 1 or 2. And that gets you right to us. And if it goes to a voicemail, that means we are on the other line. And we will call you right back as soon as we can get off what we're doing on the line. Otherwise, leave us a message, and we do call you right back. But if you want to get a lot sort of quicker flagging on the computer, bells going off, alarms, stage 5, go online, rtmroofing.com, and scroll to the bottom, no matter what it looks like. If it looks great, you can look around the website. But if it looks just like something's not right, if it's still doing that until we get this repaired, then scroll to the bottom and do the contact card. Wow, that was a lot of time explaining that. Anyway, but I think the theme of the day is everybody's life's busy. We're doing multitasking like lab rats. And it's hard when things just drop in on us to add to our schedule and time and all the great things that makes life what it is. So what do we do about that? We don't want the roof to do that. We pre-book it. Make a call now to RTM Roofing, 615-500-0751, and pre-book it. Don't wait on the problem. And you don't have to have it this second. Just schedule for February, March, April, May, June, July, August, go all the way to December. Don't go past the year from today because you need to do this once a year, and it's complimentary. It's not free. I hate free, and y'all know that. Free is a bad 4-letter word. Too much free stuff, no one cares, and they'll ask for more of it. And they'll complain about what they got free. Yeah, I don't understand it either. But it's not free, it's complimentary. It technically is free to you because we give it to you. If those of you that's been around me long enough know, well, I always say, and I'm not a big gambler, but if you go to Vegas, you can't win something without putting something on the table. You got to ante up, no matter what it is. Well, that's our ante to get us in the game. We don't win every hand, but we are giving something and technically not expecting anything in return until there's a problem. Oh, there's that, or no problem. And then you go on about your life. I don't know. I guess that's that get off my lawn coming out of me. Yeah, I turned 54 this year in April, and yeah, I just don't have time. And the way this company rolls is we want to do it right, or we're not going to do it, and treat people right to the best of our abilities. It's the old adage: treat people how you want to be treated, but actually do a little better than you treat yourself. Well, I know how I treat myself sometimes. It ain't. Yeah, I beat myself up, but. The point being, without getting all blah, 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 and I mean, I know it's this, I don't know, I like having fun shows at times, but it's been a good week, and now I'm going to give you what we're going to be getting into soon. Spring of 2026 is what I'm saying. No month yet, but it's coming. We're going to start doing some insulation. Spray in all that maybe later. But right now, your typical blow in, you roll out, you boom, 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 boom. Because why? Would you rather your insulation, should you need it, especially if it's many, many years old? There's a lot of factors. We'll get that later. But wouldn't you rather go in from the roof side than through your house and up and into attics and all disrupting everything? And especially, should it be replacement time on your roof? And should you need that, what better time to do it and get it right? And I don't mean people aren't getting it right. I'm saying it's easy going from the top down in that case. That's very simple, a little more economical. A lot of things. We've been studying a lot. So we'll be having a show just talking about insulation coming up here soon. But yeah, RTM Roofing. So now I've got to redo my whole phrase. We do roofing, siding, soffit, fascia, gutters, chimney caps, skylights, insulation. I don't know, but insulation is the new baby in town coming due spring of 2026. And I'm excited. I'm excited. I get lackadaisical sometimes when, repetitive is over and over, doing the same thing over and over. To me, I'm not expecting a different result. It's just insanity either way. I bore easily. And this has lit a new fire underneath me of something to really, another way that's really, it correlates to what we do. We're on your roof. The next step down is your insulation before we hit your sheetrock. Now, I'm not a big interior guy. We got people we recommend and all that, and we can do some things, but that's not my world. Our world now is from above your sheetrock up, except for framing. We don't do framing. We're not engineers and carpenters, There's things you can put scabs on and things like that, but we're not home builders. But we're there for the home that's been 40, 50 years old. And it was insulated at one time. And it's got the older roof now after the last time it got changed 28 years ago. Now it's time to upgrade your energy bill. And what better way than your roof and insulation? Either way, it's a win-win. One keeps the other dry and the other one keeps you hot and cold. That's what I'm talking about. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the show today, because we'll be back next week if you didn't. But I hope everybody has a great Saturday. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your time. Enjoy your time. Your time. Not my time. My time's gone. We'll see you next week. See ya. Thanks for watching Renovation Nation. Hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and share button.